Welcome back everyone to another video. Today we're going to be talking about a 3-inch Hellgrammite mold from fatguysfishing.com. Let me pull it up on my phone for you. Here's what it looks like. Comes in multiple different sizes, multiple different cavity sizes, but I got it in the 3-inch and the 6 cavity. Comes in the 1.5-inch version, the 2.75-inch version, the 3-inch version, 4-inch and 6-inch version. But today we're going to be talking about this mold. This is the 3-inch 6 cavity. It is aluminum, so it is a very high quality mold. It is $155, so actually for an aluminum mold this isn't a bad cost at all. We're going to run it in black today. I already did that with the 1.7-inch frogs from Fat Guys Fishing, the Rippin' Frog. We're going to run it in black just because I feel like black gives us the best observations of any dents, imperfections, flashes, stuff like that we want to make note of when we're judging a mold. So I'm going to put this in the microwave. I'm going to put it in for just minute intervals until it is ready to be injected. So just like the 1.7-inch frog, it is still 25 degrees out here in the garage. So this mold is making my hands hurt because it's so cold. So we're just going to let it warm in front of this little heater while our plastisol is getting warm. Alright guys, it is out of the microwave and it's ready to be injected. Luckily for us, we don't have to make any colors because we already have the black pre-made. So this isn't completely warm. It's warmish. There's still a couple cold spots on it where the heater just didn't get it warm. I only had it on there for about 5 minutes, so we might have to do 2 rounds of this after we warm it up with the first round of plastisol. But we're going to inject and just see how this turns out. We're going to inject, we're going to fill the sprue. Just going to put the rest back in the cup. We're just going to take the cup and pour a little bit more on the top. Just fill the sprue. Alright guys, it's been about 2 minutes. The plastic seems to be pretty... Plastic seems to be pretty cooled down, so we're just going to undo this. Darn. They didn't all stay. Alright, let's take these out. So here's the first one. You can see there's a little flashing in the tail, a little flashing in the feet, but nothing crazy that I would think the fish wouldn't bite because of. If you guys don't know what flashing is, you can see right there, there's that little shiny outline of very, very thin plastic on the tail right there. So, and it's on the legs too. A little bit. It's hard to tell which parts of the legs and which parts of the flash, but there's just a very, very small amount of flash on the legs. And you don't really want that. Sometimes that just means there's imperfections in the mold, and sometimes that just means that the bait maker is doing it wrong. He or she might be pushing down the injector too hard and causing that to happen. And sometimes it might just because the mold isn't the best. I don't know which one of those is the answer, so I'm going to run it one more time. Just kind of let you guys know what 2 runs look like. You know, I might have just pushed down too hard the first time, so I don't want to say that the mold is bad just because of that. So we're just going to run it again. One thing I do like about this mold is that it is pretty easy just to kind of clamp it down and screw these in. You do want to make sure though, because it isn't one that you use clamps with, it's one that you use screws, that you get these nice and tight. I know it doesn't look like they're fully tight, but they are. Sometimes, however, it can get stuck right here and you think it's tight, but it's not. You just want to make sure you get it all the way tight. Alright, the plastisol is back up to temperature. And we're going to inject a second time. I'm just going to push a little less hard. So I do think that me pushing down harder the first time might have resulted in the flashing. I didn't even mean to push down hard, but I might have on accident. Just the same with the frogs actually. The first run I did, there was a little bit of flashing in the tails. And the second time I did it, there was hardly any flashing at all. So I'm hoping that's the same with this one. Maybe you just have to push down a little less hard than you would with, you know, some of your other molds that have less appendages. We're going to undo these, see what they look like. And here's how these turned out. Let's go with the first one like we did last time. See, yeah, there is still a little bit of flash on the tails. There's quite a bit on that one, but nothing, like I said before, guys. I mean, if you have that little bit of flash on your tail like that, I mean, the fish aren't going to care about that. It's mainly for appealing humans more than it is anything else. So don't forget that. The crappie, the bass, the perch, whatever, they're not going to care if you have a little bit of flash on your tails, but just as a bait maker and as a person in general, buying as a consumer, it's just kind of annoying when you have a little bit of flash. And there's really not a whole lot in the tails, or in the appendages, and the arms and stuff on these ones. I know on the camera it might look like there is, just because the legs are so thin, but I mean there's no flash on the legs, just the tails. And I know with black it is a lot easier to see the flashing and the denting and stuff. Oh, which I didn't even say, there is absolutely no denting. All the legs turned out perfectly fine. The tails did fill, and there's no denting whatsoever. And you can even see all of the ridges from the CNC mold. Kind of gives a nice little texture. And there's obviously all of the different joints in the body. So overall, I think that mold did turn out very good, especially for this cooler weather. The fact that there's no denting in there. I did warm it up like I said, but I mean, even the first round the mold was not very warm. The mold's already starting to get cold again, and there still were no dents at all. Every single leg filled, every single part of the tail filled. I have gone ahead and already made this mold in a couple different colors. As you can see here, here's a green pumpkin, here's a cream, and here's a pearl white. So there's what they look like. They will be on my website. They're going to come in a pack of 10 in a bag like this. These will be on my website January 31st. If you go to my website right now, it's not going to be up, just because I am redoing everything, so I took the website down. But coming January 31st, I am going to have these 3 colors, the black, and several other colors in the Hellgrammite mold. If you guys know any ways to get this little bit of flashing out of here that I did not discuss, or any other techniques about this mold, if you guys have this mold for yourself, just tell others what you guys think of it. So that being said, guys, if you like this video, make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe, and follow for more. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one.